I am surprised that CGI that we keep talking about, that the animals thing. I kind of funny, like they didn't even put. They only put like one real animal. It's the little monkey.
Adorable.
Well, it's adorable,
With
right?
underwear. I saw its underwear.
Wait, you saw the one?
Yeah, it had diapers.
Oh, it had diapers.
Yeah, did no one notice that?
Yeah. And obviously, I was kind of wondering, is like, what kind of animals would they actually put into the film?
Yeah.
But of course, they wouldn't put a real rhino in it because obviously they didn't want to. But
I did like that they used like a prosthetic or whatever the heck it is of the rhino that they basically killed. They would eat these things. Like they'd eat elephants, they'd eat lions.
like, what were they doing? Were they like
it was like
taking out
it was like
the horn?
steak. No, it was dead. Well, yeah. They're like taking the horn, but when you look at the table, you can see the food, and its head is like chopped, like because they were eating out of it.
Disgusting.
Well,
don't worry. Back then, it was probably delicious. It's like one only like rich people could buy.
Yeah, basically,
well.
basically. Yeah, but I was interested about the animals too.
Yeah.
Like they showed those weird monkeys. I mean, I kind of just wish they did a little better on the CGI, considering I feel like
they look like Hunger Games monkeys.
Yeah.
I kind of find it funny because I love it how the monkeys were. Have you seen like the background a little bit?
Yeah.
Like how a guy was falling in the ground and he was like, oh, and the monkeys wasn't even touching him.
So like
what?
That it looked like it belonged to like a 2016 like Netflix animal video, like Animal Planet or something. Like that's what it looked like to me, and I'm like, this is supposed to be a blockbuster film.
Yeah.
Like I get you're paying these actors, but like, what the fuck CGI is that? Like pay them right for they could edit this motherfucker right in there. To me, it just looks like he's wrestling something from 10 years ago. Anyways, but yes, it would have been nice to see some of the animals, but like there should have been a lot better like CGI for them. Like they could have put more animals in there, like the elephant, like I said, because they would actually fight stuff like that.
Yeah, and this movie did feel long, at least for me. It was like a 2 hour and almost 30 minutes. It says right here, but it felt longer.
It's the same length as the first one, I believe.
Let's see, just to double making sure. I think you're right.
No, they're both 2.5 hours.
Yeah, you're right. So that's good.
So like, there's some stuff he for sure could have taken out and then added. There's a lot of animal shots.
Can't believe I
Monkey,
spent
doggies.
5 hours of my life watching Gladiator.
What, you said you had fun with the second one?
Yeah,
so you can't
for
really.
the glory of Rome.
Yeah, it was a B plus, right?
B minus.
So, B minus. Hey, that's still good. That's more than I could even expect. It. I was like, what?
Well, that's a big step up from the first one.
Exactly.
But
like,
I did have to.
Almost an F.
So what got you? Like, was it like the sharks in the water, or was it like the battle scenes where one of the, when he got, that guy got the shield and tossed it to Lucius and he disappeared? Did that got you?
You mean how they watched? What do you mean they backed up? They're like, make room for the camera.
No, he was like there, and I was like, wait a minute, aren't they supposed to be a team and fighting this guy?
Yeah.
I know it's not fair. You said it yourself, like this wasn't fair, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. They could have just killed that guy right there, but I guess they just tried to do like an honorable thing, I guess. And then they just disappeared.
I'll say why I at least liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it because I thought it was just a step up. It seemed a lot more clean. Obviously with technology and probably editing, but of course there were some major gripes with it still.
Yeah, the monkeys were real.
The monkeys were the worst part of it, but it was interesting that they threw them in there. I'm just, of course it wasn't memorable like when he did his "I'm not entertained," but it's not like it was a big thing when he said it.
No, when I heard him say that, and I'm like, why do people love this quote? This was so lame.
Well, it's like one of those quotes when like I can't really much explain it like other people.
I can.
Because you can. Okay, go ahead.
Well, the reason why is, at least from I imagined it was
get the
grand.
context, but there was no emotion. Russell Crowe in that movie is so boring.
Which is crazy because Russell Crowe's I think he's in some really good movies.
He was.
But like I think I don't know, but at the same time I feel like Russell Crowe has the monotoneness a little bit. But it feels like it's been a while since I've seen him in a other movie than. I don't know. I don't feel like he's been in much lately. But anyways, sticking to this film, because of course, like it's almost back and forth, at least for the half of the film. Like this happened the first one. This is happening too. With the small first one he fights. I mean, I could see like why it was a little sped up because it was the same thing as the first one. Because that's where you get introduced with the other guy.
Like, everything about the second one is legitimately ripped off from the first one. We're talking about when they're in this war. We're talking about when he gets captured. We're talking about when he makes friends out of nowhere. You know, those monkey noises. And I was like, I almost giggled.
I was giggling.
And I was just like, what is going on? Is it like, do they are communicating in monkey all of a sudden and he understands every word from them?
They were like making fun of him.
Exactly. But it doesn't make any sense because I'm like, if you're fighting monkeys, wouldn't you do everything in your power to basically fight off those monkeys?
Yeah, they're just making fun of them.
Scratch? But I'm like...
Dude, it's a different world out there, brother.
Exactly, but nobody thought about biting a monkey before? Is that something new?
No,
like,
they're just...
technology, like, using your mouth against an enemy?
I mean, from what it seems, it's rare when they find a gladiator that has that spark, such as Russell Crowe's character.
Russell Crowe's spark was 10 times better than this spark. All he did was bit a monkey, crawl in force, and start yelling at it.
I didn't like that. You're right. I didn't like that when he screamed at the monkey.
Yeah, and he was but blood, like, and I'm just like... And Denzel Washington was just like the first guy. You know how he's like, I see potential in this guy. It's like, what are you talking about?
It was the same thing what he was doing with Russell Crowe. Yeah. Russell Crowe was the other guy too, and he did the same thing with the monkey. Yeah, but it was well earned though. Well, it's just that Russell Crowe is already a soldier and a general. Yeah. He comes with that experience where this guy is just more of like he says himself, he's just a soldier.
Yeah.
You see the difference for sure. But like he even says it himself that he's not like a general. He's not like his dad or anything like that. He's just a guy trying to survive. He's like them. But he actually he's passionate about doing something. He wants to kill the general, which
is something
thing with
the first one.
Not really. It seemed like Russell Crowe just wanted to die in the beginning because he was sad his family died.
Yeah, of course.
But like
that's reasonable.
Yeah, but like. He never like once like expressed like I'm gonna murder him till towards like when he gets to Coliseum. He was kind of just riding along, and it felt like he just seemed like a guy ready for death.
Yeah, because it was a guy that lost all his hope. Because if you lost a family, a loved one, basically in front of you, wouldn't you kind of like feel like a part of yourself like breaking, like missing? Because he lost a son, he lost a wife, and obviously here. Lucius actually lost a wife too, but it wasn't very much of an impact. It wasn't much of a punch.
I mean, the first one wasn't a punch too.
The first one, let's just...
Those are the worst parts of both of the movies.
No,
they're stupid.
No, I think those are really good, especially the first one, because you could tell that he lost everything. He lost his army. He lost his, his father figure. He lost his child and.
But like, wife. What is that? You're telling me like these people are just the people he fought with are just gonna give him up like that? Like what to be in the first one, like with Russell Crowe, when they're like one guy wanted to like stop them from being like those people were following his lead, not basically Cornelius. Well, come on, King.
But this one's a lot worse because nobody know who the hell Lucius is.
No, they know who he is. They just don't know what happened.
But they don't really care what happened. To be honest, if that kid was still around or even grown up, people would have killed him anyway. He's just some guy who just showed up and he just started making speeches. It's like, who's this guy? I don't know him. But obviously they know Pedro Pascal, like the general. They know him. And he's the one who fought for everybody. And he's like, I'm the one who's trying to get Rome back together. He didn't give a shit about Rome.
Till the end.
Exactly. It's just like a turn off switch. And I'm like, what are you doing? And all of a sudden he's just like, I'm doing this for Rome. Why? Like basically Rome killed took over your land.
He found his mom.
Which is ridiculous. How did the mom figure it out how like he was his child?
A mother knows her son.
All you gotta do is pick up dirt and go whoosh.
And he did it.
It's my son. It's Lucius. I know. Because he did it just like Maximus. It's a prophecy. Right. And I'm just like, what? You gotta be on drugs or something if you actually think this is a lot better.
I'm glad they only used that once. Well, I did not want to keep touching.
I think that's a problem because obviously if he did it like at least like a setup to it and then understanding what we're gonna get for this, and then I'll understand why he's grabbing the dirt like his father.
I think she just recognized him. I think you're going way too deep. I think
once he grabbed the dirt,
just looked at his face.
No,
why would she think just because he does the same thing?
When he grabbed the dirt, that's when it triggered her mind. It's like, I think is this
that was more for the audience? I think
that was more.
Because obviously that's what Maximus does. That's what
it was like foreshadowing that this is his son.
Even in the ending, they did it. He did it again. Like, Father, speak to me, and grabs the dirt. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, yeah, because they're tying it to the first one.
See,
they ended it the same with the first one where he's touching the damn weeds.
Well, yeah, exactly. But of course, that's when he was dead, Maximus.
Yeah.
So yeah, but either way, obviously, let's keep going. But what else do you think that was actually pretty well done then? Besides the flaws that I put out.
I mean, I don't know. I thought it was fun. Like, it was kind of like I said, it's kind of like Hunger Gameified. It was okay.
The Hunger Games were like a lot better, in my opinion. Even though the only problem that I had with Hunger Games with the shaking camera. But sorry about that.
I'm just saying, like, the concept of the gladiators fighting, but then they added all this extra shit, and I just thought it was like entertaining. Like, I can take myself out. Like, I don't have to be like, oh, the monkeys don't look real. Oh, this never would have happened. No, like, I suspend my disbelief when I watch a movie, and I don't know, it was pretty fun. And I love a rebellion in a movie. Like, anything like with the like French Revolution and shit in a movie, I'm like, okay, sign me up.
So that means you love Napoleon, right?
So,
yeah, no, I was about to say Napoleon.
You love Joaquin.
Yeah.
Napoleon was okay, but I don't remember anything about it.
I just remembered the funny stuff.
Yeah, but
when he's like running from the council to his army,
it was ridiculous.
It's like they're rebelling against us, and they listen.
Get him!
But it's like that's how you start a coup, just like that.
It's not anything like that. It's just all hogwash for sure.
Yeah, but like that was funny.
Yeah, and it's one of those mistakes that Ridley Scott likes to do. I guess he's just trying to make it a little bit more fun for the audience. And don't get me wrong, there was fun moments, especially the Coliseum Rhino thing. I love it when the guy was fighting, a unit, and basically he got an axe and just tossed it. You see,
everyone laughed at him. Yeah, see, like shit like that.
What are you doing? See, and I was like, all right, I'm on board. It's ridiculous. I don't need a full size rhino charging at innocent actors. No, they could have fun with this in a good way. But obviously, there's some things in there that you kind of just go like, what's going on? It's like, are they fighting as a unit or not? Because all of a sudden you see 4 dudes in there. I know one of them dies, but obviously what happened to the other 4 guys?
They chilled in the back, brother.
They just chilled?
Dude, are you telling me you want to fight that rhino? Hell no.
The rhino was, immobilized. Let's be real.
Well, yeah.
With
the other guy fight him.
I don't understand all this nitpick stuff.
Yeah. No, it's not nitpick. It's actually what happened to the film. And obviously, you just see this soldier guy just go like, Lucius just tossed his shield at him, and I'm just like, why don't you go there and help him? Like, aren't you guys gonna
There's no strength and honor in teaming up like that.
What was that? What was the saying? Like strength.
Strength and honor.
They have like pride, and
it's called a guy
code. They don't want to gang up on one dude. They want to let him have a chance one-on-one.
Not even, because after that they just
disappear. Except on Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal.
He has to take on 5 dudes on
him. No, same thing with Lucius in the very ending. Like, he had to take on the whole, like, the army technically.
Well, there he was gonna pretty much. Wait, what? Who?
Lucius. Like how he has to defend his mother.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because they want him
on the opposite end. I'm saying the gladiators have that, like.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Morality. Yeah, that's.
Which is saying. That I think like. I know you don't. It's a movie.
The other side, of course, like they don't give a fuck.
But like
they just want to make sure they don't get injured and kill the fucking slaves. I thought the slave shit was interesting, like how Denzel's character was
slave.
I thought I don't know. I liked the characters, the character stories a little bit, except for the main character and the mother. She was so disappointing. She could have been.
Look, I was down for the whole politics stuff a lot more. Like, it's super corrupt.
Yeah, like, I love that part. When go ahead. Sorry.
I did like when Denzel came with the head and he showed his power of like, I'm basically head of Rome now with the head, and he won it by getting the other guy, one of the Senate guys, to his side. I feel like it could have used more of that stuff
Absolutely.
in the film. But
And that's
it would have had more Denzel, though.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was on board with as well. Because I love it how he manipulated the twins. He's like, yeah, this guy is going to try to kill you. And obviously you got to kill him before he kills you. And once that does happen, guess what he does? He takes almost full control. You just got to get rid of one of them after that. And that was pretty good. It was interesting at that point. Mm-hmm. But then obviously it goes a little haywire because all of a sudden, like, you almost have full control and yet you want to go what was it? Coliseum or Coliseum again? I'm like, why are we going back there again?
Because it's gladiators.
Again? Again?
It was the games.
Yeah.
It was the
last day of the game.
Oh, so that's what it was.
Yeah, it was the last day of the game.
He said he wanted to celebrate and then kill her.
Yeah, but obviously, what do you propose? You postpone it if there's something happening in your kingdom?
Well, they were going to make a grand spectacle of the mom.
Oh, and what was that? Why did they try to make
she betrayed them.
Yeah.
And they're trying to diffuse them killing the hero, Pedro Pascal.
Which it's going to be worse.
Which is why they didn't kill Maximus in the first one, because Joaquin's character was trying to avoid something like that.
Yeah. He was a lot smarter.
And it shows that these two guys, they were just, they were, their characters were, they were just, they want it their way and always their way. That's why in the beginning of the film, when Pedro was there, he was like, I don't want to fight anymore. I'm fucking done. And they're like, no, you're going to take this place and then that place. And then he's like, games all day. That's why he was pissed as fuck.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, and obviously, there's like more stuff into this film that we could go over, but it's 2 hours and something long video,
Yeah, very long film.
It's a very long film. I felt it. I had to get out my phone a little bit to see what time it is.
That's what
and I was like, please, Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those films that I think it's just a little too long for me, at least. If they shorten it up, and I think we would have a better film, in my opinion. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. But what else, Ocean? What else do you think of this fantastic film, even though you're not going to remember this like in the next 5 hours maybe?
Yeah, it was good for the time. I'm gonna enjoy the time I spent with it. At least try.
The characters are memorable, and that helps me kind of remember.
I mean, I felt like it had more characters than the first one.
Yeah.
It just had it had the twins, it had the one Senate guy, it had the doctor. It had
I forgot about the doctor until you reminded me of them.
Yeah.
I forgot about the what was his name from the first one? The emperor guy before he got into slavery as well. Before a monkey chewed out his neck. Remember, he just stand there and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
The chieftain guy?
The chief guy, yeah.
Yeah, what about him?
How he just, he was supposedly a memorable character, and then he was supposed to, I guess, he wanted to give up, basically. He gave up because he lost everything.
Yeah.
And obviously he wanted to die, but of course Lucas wanted him to keep on living. But he didn't. He just laid on the ground and let a monkey chew out his neck.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I kind of wanted to see that character a little bit more, but I guess I didn't want to.
It probably would have been too similar to the first one.
Oh, that's true. Huh? Yeah. I forgot about that character too. Yeah. So it's one of those movies that I think it's just like, ooh. I think there is memorable stuff here, yes, like the battle scenes, but end of the day is, I do agree with Ocean, you're going to forget about this film eventually, but I think there is some stuff here that is possible that you might like the twins. I think they're overreacting, some of them.
What do you mean?
The twins?
They're overreacting? What do you mean?
Like they acting? Overreact with their acting.
No, I thought they were fine.
Overacting.
Yeah.
No, you're in Rome, brother.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's.
You didn't see the scene. I know. He's like, these are the traitors.
Well, I don't know how.
And he's like, whooshing.
Yeah,
let me get him. Let me get him.
That's exactly
let me at him.
That's exactly. Yeah,
and he's like, no, don't do it.
That's funny.
Pedro Pascal got the black eye because I came back from the bathroom and he had black eye.
Yeah, it's because they got caught because they knew about the plot. Yeah. But he was Pedro Pascal's was like, he was like, you could torture me all you want, just don't give me a lecture, basically, is what he told him. And then the other brother, the one that...
He's like, shut up.
Yeah, he's like freaking out. He's like, kill him now. He's like, no, we gotta make a spectacle. It was that scene, that was hilarious. I thought that. I mean, it was ridiculous. But I thought it was
hilarious for me.
I'm
like, what's going on?
But I already knew what I was getting out of these two characters with the way they were dressed. They were super extra, which I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's just one of these two characters that I'm just like, yeah, I can see them being memorable. Like,
that's who he was. I was wondering. I was like, this dude looks familiar.
Are you talking about from
Stranger Things?
Yeah,
he was the dude, the guitar dude.
Kevin.
Ed. His name was Eddie or something.
Yeah. Oh, Eddie. Yeah.
He was like, I've seen this dude somewhere.
Which one was he? The one who with the little monkey, or with the?
He was the other one, the one that died.
Yeah, because they're wearing too much makeup, and I understand that it was like during that time, but I just like
they're like twins. I see this guy before. He's like, he has a weird facial. I was like, but anyways.
Yeah, so let's go right into the ending. So how did it end, basically, with the two armies? You know, Denzel Washington's plan. What did he want to do? Obviously, he wanted to take over, but did he want to bring down Rome?
Yeah, he was gonna rebuild Rome.
Oh, from the ground, ashes, correct.
Yeah. So he was...
let Rome fall.
Yeah.
And he's so right for that.
No, I agree with them.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah, I was like, bring down Rome. Like, it's...
He was.
Yeah, he was right. You see, I could agree with that. Oh, man,
there's someone saying that in the future about America. No.
Let capitalism kill America.
Okay, anyways.
So, yeah, I do agree with him, like, obviously bringing down the Rome, because obviously Rome is a shit place. There's plague going on because remember there's poor. Their food is running short.
Which they show in the film. Food, please. We want food. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously he just he wants to be a ruler, but he wants to start something new. He wants to build I think a better Rome, but in his own way. And I did like how Lucius.
Well, he said it himself. Like he was gonna have it probably almost the same way in his head because he was gonna do it by strength.
I thought he was playing with that so he could fool the other guys, like the counselors.
No, that's what he told the girl, the mom.
Oh.
He told her, she's like, what about the people and stuff like that? He's like, only the strength will survive.
Yeah.
So,
I don't need weaklings. I need strong gladiators.
So that's why he's gonna rebuild it. Who knows what image he had in mind, but my guess is another tyrant, of course.
They all try to go for that tyrant kind of thing. And
it's because power is easy to control the person.
Yeah, and it's true.
Yeah.
Obviously, it did not work out for him. Obviously, there was a plan already in motion. We have Lucius getting soldiers. From where was it? Like where were the soldiers?
It was like just think of it like in a Boulder City or something.
Like something.
Just think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not Turkey, but it was like a station outpost similar to like the first one.
Yeah, 5,000 strong. Correct?
Yeah. Except this time the soldiers did show up.
Oh yeah.
Unlike the first Gladiator.
Well, because nobody could have got him to him. Everybody they figure out the plan.
Yeah.
In this one of them actually made it through.
Yeah.
He told him, "Take my ring," and it's from his father's ring. Maximus.
Grandfather, father, and then Cassius, I think that was his name.
Yeah, and he said just say my name and they'll come towards you. With the whole army, and they did. It was almost sick. I thought that we're gonna have a battle here, but of course you see Denzel Washington, running. He's like, I don't know why didn't he just stop and just send his military officers like shoot that guy,
I think I was surprised about that too, but he met them halfway and was like, all right, we're gonna do it. At least there was no bad Mad Furiosa,
Oh, those
I would have been pissed if it was like that.
Yeah, I would have been past. Yeah, pretty upset when there's nothing but a storytelling.
Yeah, a narrator. So Lucius arrives 2 hours late, and the great battle takes place.
Yeah, exactly.
But he fights Denzel's character. Like I was saying, I like when he chopped his arm off. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah. I'm surprised that the old man could fight. I was like, damn. And you would think
he was a gladiator. What was he?
Well, no, he wasn't a gladiator. He was I believe he was wasn't he a slave because obviously his grandfather, the daughter, who basically gave him the mark.
Yeah.
And obviously he probably was. No, I think he made as well. He climbed the ladder in a different way.
Yeah.
And obviously that's why he hates, the whole empire Roman thing. And obviously I don't know how he learned how to fight. Maybe he practiced. And obviously, probably, he knows how to fight for an old man. And you would think, Lucius would have just crippled the old man, but he didn't. So obviously it was a like unrealistic fight, but it was a good entertainment fight.
Yeah.
You get to see blood and gore here. He was drowning him. He was trying to stab him, but of course his father's armor protected him. What was it, like the little like Pegasus or something?
Yeah.
The chest armor, and obviously couldn't pierce it. And I was like, God damn, he's doing something wrong. And he bashed him with the head with the rock. And obviously, was there blood on him? A little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have thought that his character would have like tried to talk to him because he's like a little bit smarter. Why would he try to fight him instead of talking to him? Because they obviously have similar backgrounds. So I thought maybe like that would have come into play and they would have talked about it. And like, I don't know, the fact that they had similar backgrounds just didn't really do anything for the movie. The only thing maybe could have shown like the two different ways you could go about that, being in that situation. But I don't know, it's just kind of stupid that his character decided to fight him instead of talking to him.
We're ready to wrap up the film.
I don't know. Yeah.
So, like, we gotta make room for the speech. Probably because he rammed his horse into his hill.
And Denzel Washington was basically the man of his word. He gave him the general that he asked him for, Lucius.
Yeah.
And obviously he's like, why didn't you kill him? I gave you what you wanted. He's like, I don't want to. You gave me a slave instead of a general. He's a general.
No, he said
that he's not a slave. He's a gladiator or something. He has his own free will.
Yeah. So, because he's like, why the change of heart,
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, well, because I could change my mind, basically.
Yeah. Fuck you, I changed my mind.
And, well, yeah, basically, because this guy's like telling you, he's like, you're going to be the tool. Everything, you're going to do what I say.
Wait, Denzel Washington?
Yeah, that's what he was telling him. It's like, you're my tool of instrument that I'm going to use to take Rome.
Obviously, it failed. Obviously, that guy ended up killing him. And I did like how they were talking about, like, my God is here and telling me to take over Rome and destroy it. And he's like, what happened if your God sent me over to kill you? And I was like, all right, that's interesting enough. It's a little banker, like little talking here and there. Obviously, before the final fight, and obviously, we know who won. Yeah. And then I think we heard one of the worst speeches I think I heard in a while. What was it? If one of you guys remember the speech?
Yeah, it was cheesy as fuck.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. There was two. There's two. One when he talks with the gladiators before they go out there to try to save his mom. Yeah. And then the last act where he's like, I'm not a general, I'm not a soldier, or I'm a soldier, or some shit like that. And he's like, whatever, together we could rebuild Rome. Basically, is what he should have just said.
Strength and honor together.
Yeah.
He basically said no more blood.
Even though there's going to be blood anyway.
There always is blood.
Yeah. He's going to end up dying anyway. Who knows? And it's going to repeat its cycle again. I'm still kind of weirded out. Like, the twins somehow managed to get empowered.
I was curious about that, too.
Yeah, I was, like, wondering. I was like, how did these guys get empowered? Even though the Senate, the people, and basically almost, like, the entire army hated those guys. Like, I feel like the only ones that are, like, kind of backing him up was just, like the royal guards. Like, his personal guards. Because they feed him well. And that's it. But I just think it's a little bit more push. They would have actually gotten overthrown. They were going to get overthrown anyway. But yeah, that was a nitpick for me. I was like, it don't matter, but either way, it's still good. I like the overthrowing part at least.
It could have been like a lot better if they had a different ending.
What kind of ending do you think you would want to see?
Something less about fighting. I don't know. Maybe if the mother had a little bit more will, other than, oh, now that I know my son's alive, my life doesn't matter anymore. And then she just gives up. That is so disappointing. The way that Ridley Scott treats women in this movie is really disappointing. Just like fridging them. They just uplift the man's story and they don't really have character. She's just like, my whole life is just to see that my son's alive and I will just die now. And then like obviously Denzel's character, there was something that could have been like,
didn't she say something about like I will give up my life for Rome, but I will not give up my son's life, I guess?
She did say that.
She did say that, but why would she give up her life for Rome? That doesn't
she
make sense because she said she doesn't agree with how they are. So wouldn't she want to change Rome and help?
I mean, Marcus Aurelius himself even said if she was a guy, he said in the first film that if she was a guy, she would be the one, to rule.
Yeah, I think it was heading that way.
She should have been like maybe like trying to like pioneer like New Rome, not just
Yeah, she was just a plot device that basically gets killed, and obviously, Lucius was the one who was gonna fight.
Just another loss for the main character to be like, I lost everything. I'm so sad.
Well, that's almost every movie.
Bad movies.
Not all bad. What you gave this a B plus?
Minus.
B minus. That's a high ranking in my opinion.
I'm ranking this based off. This is a Gladiator movie, and
that's fine.
And it's just entertainment, but like
this movie knows exactly what it is.
Yeah. All right.
This is no Interstellar.
I guess I like the setting and the grandness of it.
And that is totally fine. I agree. Obviously, I do like the whole grand of it as well. I just wish it was just played out a little bit better. Maybe if it was shorter, I could have got on board with it.
I mean,
Denzel Washington, I do like him as an actor, but I think he was, shouldn't be in this film in general. Because
he saves the movie.
I know. If it was probably a different character. Pedro Pascal, I wish he was there more than Lucius. I actually liked him a lot better. I felt like he was actually the more general here, and people would follow him into battle. All right, then. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys on the next one. All right, later. Bye-bye.